Hello and welcome back, or welcome to Season 2 of Hardcore Minecraft with me, Doom Mountain. Now we are here where we left off last time, finishing off our mine shaft entrance, and you know, I am still very, very proud with how this whole place has come up, and you know, I was just happy with it, and it's the first area where we can actually have a bit more of a staplement of all the iron that we got from our iron farm we got built up, so, you know, I was really happy with how we left things off. What I wasn't happy with is the fact that we left this whole area untouched and undone. Now, I have ran out of resources, so, yeah, we'll be finished in a minute, but we are now started to set in place how we want our sort of stairwell to be. Now we've made use of the amethyst shards, clusters, and the blocks, as well as the honeycomb blocks, tying in a bit more of that yellowish. And now I've got some lanterns here as well, and I would like to introduce a few oak fences to sort of break away a little bit, like there is a bit of a fence sort of holding back the natural sort of gemstones that are there and us sort of from going into it. And this is the idea of sort of continued on the pathway like normal, the stair pattern, and led us all the way down to this section here, which is where we lead off to go down to our geode. Now I've got to be careful because there's a little bit of a drop. It's not a drop that will hurt me, but it is a drop nonetheless that we need to be aware of. So as you can see, I've kind of marked out this section here being where I want a walkway or a platform to be able to actually go off into this section. So that means that later down the track, our path, which is going to probably start back up over here, is going to readjust our line. So we have to basically redig a whole new tunnel down. But that's not too much of an issue. I just wanted to let you guys know that I did, in fact, start this. And yes, Mr. ProRanger, if you are watching this, we did have a little look at this over on a live stream, which I'll jump into after this. But he said that I've did all of this work for something that's going to be barely shown in an episode. Yes. Yes, I did. It's for my amusement. Now, as I had mentioned, we did in between this episode and last a live stream, and you know, I plan to do a few more of them over on Twitch, so if you guys want to check it out, you know, head over there. But we didn't just sort of show off that little bit of the entrance there, no. We had the purpose of finding the rest of our diamonds, and that is why I am currently helmetless, because we have over here, I had them hidden away, a diamond helmet which we managed to get blast protection 4 and unbreaking 3 on with our enchanting table, so not the best. We did lose our ability to breathe underwater, but I don't know, maybe I've got some books from fishing, but I'll put that back on so we feel a little bit more protected. We also got enough to get ourselves our diamond hoe. We got a Silk Touch diamond pickaxe. Now there is a story to this pickaxe which we shall return to in a moment. We've also collected up our diamond shovel and our diamond axe. Now, we were also lucky enough that I was really bad at maths, and we had 2 diamonds spare, so I put them up away in a safe chest up in our room. But yes, that's how our sort of little bit of a digging exploration, and if you're interested, that stream will be over on the second channel. And we found these diamonds within like 20 minutes of the stream, so, you know, we found it pretty quick, and then we got into the business of that episode, or stream, which, let's discuss now. Alright, so I did pick up Bluey. He was whinging at me for leaving me. Yes, I'm sorry I left you out, but in the last episode, we collected up the parent villagers, which we left in a box just over here beside our enchanting tower. Now, we decided on stream that we kind of needed some more enchants. I wanted mending and I wanted silk touch. So we did not actually get lucky enough to get silk touch on this pickaxe when we enchanted it. We only got unbreaking 3 and efficiency 4. We did, however, manage to get ourselves a villager who was willing to sell us silk touch. We also managed to get ourselves a villager who will sell us unbreaking 3 and a villager who will sell us mending, as well as a villager who's more than happy to buy all of our leftover carrots. And they are just over here. Now, I'm trying to do some parkour. So over here we have our original parents, who are and a cat.
Oops.
Yeah, that cat didn't seem to want to stick around very long, did it? Well, okay then. But we've got the parents over here who are our carrot guy, and we've got this guy over here who I can get just close enough to him without falling in the pen, is Silk Touch for 15 emeralds. So yeah, not too bad. Now, we did breed up some more to get ourselves these two guys, and we got, going through it, we got ourselves Unbreaking 3 for 18 emeralds. I could not turn that down. That was too good of an offer, so we took that up. And we pushed our luck with this guy over here, who finally gave us Mending, but it is for 26 emeralds. And as you can see, none of my gear has Mending on it yet. We need it on this Fortune Pickaxe. It's been used a fair bit, so we kind of need to get that Mending on it. I just haven't yet had enough emeralds to actually get it going yet. We've only sort of fresh with these guys, and you know, they're only in this pen because we were designing up and doing the terraforming for our villagers to live up on top of the hill. Now, in the stream, we were going backwards and forwards between building up this and trying to trade with these guys who are always a pain. Sorry, Blue, get back on my shoulder. I didn't mean to drop you. But, yeah, and so we decided that, you know, we would build up this whole area here. Now, the viewer who named our lovely parrot Dragon was also in the stream, and so we asked him where did he think it would be a good spot to sort of have Dragon hide away. He said maybe design up and make a lair or a dungeon for him. And I thought, you know what? We could really just close off this area to give us more of the hill up there, and we'd have this really nice, cool water sort of filled cave. But it's not just that. Now, hang on. Louis, where are you? You want me? No, you're somewhere. But anyway, if we go down, I can't stay too long because this new helmet doesn't have breathing. It is actually just a big water cave again. And you know how I've been keen about those at the moment with our island, because they're all kind of lining up with each other and we can make a big sort of connected system underneath the island. But, sorry about that, I'm just distracted. Come on, we've got to save Blue. Get out of the water. Yes, look, I can hear the mobs are coming. You just get to shore. Get to shore and we'll be okay. There we go. See, look, we're fine now. And I've got a bed over here. See, look, we'll sleep. Now Bluey can ease. Oh, well, we can't sleep yet. Sleep now. But as you can see up here, we have made ourselves a lovely platform in which we can build up a villager, like a villager sort of community of a few little houses where we can store up just the bare necessities, so we can get emeralds, we can get a few goods, and so we can, you know, get some enchantments and maybe some other stuff like that, and just sort of build it up here. Not a villager town hall or a trading hall sort of stuff, because I want to make a really big one in our next area when we finish up the starter island. So I don't want to really tie that in with what we do here. This is just be a little maybe nod to Uruk, so the free roaming villagers, but we'll probably fence off this whole platform up here so they can only sort of stay up on this part. But that's my thought, and that's kind of what I want to get done in today's episode. Is I would love to start building up the houses around here, getting a bit of design ideas, and then moving our villagers out of their box, because you know it's a little bit crummy over there, and then putting them up here so they actually have somewhere to live and feel a part of this island. Now, the terraforming that is behind me, I do need to adjust, and the terraforming that is below me, I still need to finish. However though, I plan on finishing that during a live stream, which should be, as of recording this section, today. So hopefully before the end of this episode, this will all be finished, and we'll have a really nice area for our villagers. So, before we can really jump into it, I need to go collect up some resources. So, yeah, let me just go and do that, and then maybe we might jump back in with a time lapse. Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. So, yeah, I'll see you in a moment. Alright, so back in now after that time lapse, and well, what do we have to sort of, say for ourselves after it? And well, because it's nothing really pretty, I know, Bluey, I'm just saying that. And well, what we have is our skeleton shape for our little village that we're going to have on top of what we're calling on the stream, the Dragon's Lair, which also holds our nether portal down there too. But let's get up there and have a little bit of a closer look at the shells of the buildings, which I'm thinking should be in place. So let's head on up there now. Alright, so I know that there is no real detail here yet, but this is sort of the section where I want to make the entrance. I was thinking maybe having a diagonal gate or something like that to be able to have this as because it's all got to be a fence-off area so the villagers can sort of free roam, but we don't want anything coming in and out. So I was thinking if we have it here on a diagonal, and then we could enter into our village. And our first building over here is a large sort of tower, which I want to sort of get a few more around the island to have as sort of lookout points where we can see if anyone's coming in, or, just sort of add to the story and just a bit more protection about us. But you can see here, it's really just a plain shell. We've got our idea. We need to put a flooring up there as well as a ladder and, just some storage. There's a few other things in here like a floor that probably might go well as some paths. But if we're coming out here directly across, we have another little house here, which I think will work well in housing a few villagers, as well as maybe some of their workstations and just a bit of extra storage. So that way we can sort of store all of the items that we want to be able to trade with our villagers up here too. Because we don't want it just to look good, we want it to be functional as well. Now moving on, if we come on out here and we follow the imaginary path at the moment, we get to the main sort of building of this area. So we're going to put a bit more detail in here. This was an idea to have these little peaks, but kind of looking at it now, the sandstone gets way too washed away with this, even if we start adding in a few more decorative blocks like the vines, that sort of stuff, to try and make it look a little bit more standout. I think it's going to get washed away. So I think what we might do is bring back a bit of the copper in here to sort of tie it in with what we got over at our enchanting area up on the lip there, as well as a little bit in our tower of our own sort of house. Or we could even just bring back in the honeycomb blocks as well. How I was saying I didn't tie them in too much around everywhere. We could even introduce that here. But as you can see, we've got the potential for 2 stories in here, but we still have no floor, no way up, and yeah, everything here really is a shell pretty much. But if we head on out, we can see our last 2 small sort of cottages, especially this one. I can picture this just sort of being a single villager home sort of thing. Maybe even just our own little storage, a home away from home if we're coming back through the nether and we just need to escape somewhere, before coming here to sort of another medium-ish size home. So I think we could probably get a few villagers in here, especially if we use the bunk bed method, so we stack a few beds on top of each other. I think that might work. Yeah, we could probably get away with it. Alright, so with the shells of our houses around here, now all we need to do is start putting in the detail, securing this all around with a fence, and then, well, moving our villagers over here. Now, unfortunately, I am a little bit behind with my scheduling for episodes, and work has gotten in the way, so this has taken a little bit longer than usual. Yes, Bluey, I know, you've heard it all before, but it gets a little bit in the way. So, what I'm thinking is, I'm going to jump over and do a bit of a live stream where hopefully we can get a few more decorative parts around here, probably even try and get a path in, as well as finishing off the cliff face around here instead of having all these open gaps. Try and get all this nice and finished. That way when we come back in, we can do the lovely, pleasant work of working with villagers. Yeah, that's going to be fun, isn't it? But yeah, guys, I hope you like what we've got so far as our shell, and yeah, I'll bring you back in when we've got a little bit more detail. Alright, we are back here now after that live stream, and as you can see, we have really made a big difference here on this hillside. Now, you can really see the stone creeping through, but as well as keeping that nice sort of green touch of the moss spreading into the mossy cobblestone words in the background there, as well as including a few of those roots like we put in our miners area, as well as hanging some of the glowberries, which really just ties this all together, as well as, you know, throwing in that bamboo. Now, as you can sort of see here, we did also change the deep slate stairs, half slabs, and the chiseled sandstone blocks in the back of that tower behind me to the copper and the honeycomb blocks, which I think definitely stands out more and gives it a better sort of stance in this little village. Alright, let's head up there now. Alright, so as you can see, here is where I kind of want to have that angled or diagonal entrance gateway here, and this is going to be the main and only point of entry for this village. I've started to go around placing in some of these oak fences, which we will be putting lanterns on it, don't worry, I just didn't have any on me at the time of putting this up there. But we did run out of a bit of the wood for that, so we need to collect up a bit more oak and then get that finished perimeter around here before we can actually move villagers up here. But as you can see, there's no path, and that's because I'm out of mud. So we need to replace all of the pathing blocks here, because a lot of it drops straight down below into a great big watery pit underneath. So yeah, we just got to be a little bit careful. But as you can see, our villagers have a friend that they can hang out with over here, a panda who seemed to have got himself stuck. Look, okay, don't hit the panda. There we go. So the villagers already have a pet or someone to watch over them as they're up here in their own little area, which I think's that's kind of cool. I'm hoping he'll stay here. We've got to sort of get the gates in quick enough so that he doesn't leave. But yeah, I think he'll be a nice little companion. And you know, any name suggestions, please leave them in the comment section. Now, of course, we've gone through, and this is our tower. We've put in the floor, as well as ladders leading up, and windows which look out at each point here, which I think really gives us a nice view. But then we can climb up top, and we're on top of our first turret tower. Now, I want to get more of these out here, so maybe one over on where that sand hill is down there, one maybe where our bees are, and one off to the distance between where the iron farm and our mining section is. And I think that having these around the place will really tie it all together and have just a bit more of a defense structure about it. And yeah, I just think it'll be a nice little fun thing to do. Now, as we can see, the streets do look very plain without the paths and the little extra decorative blocks around it, which, talking about them, we will need to make sure that there is nothing leaning up against a fence that can allow a villager to jump over it, or in the worst case scenario, we haven't lit up everything outside of it, a zombie to jump in. So we've got to make sure those don't connect, and yeah, just get up the mud blocks before we can finally get this done in here. But I'm really hoping I can get enough mud soon to be able to get this all done. But as we can see behind me, our houses all have floors, windows. We just need to put in the roof and then decorate them internally. And yeah, even this one here, which is the 2-story one, we've got this all in place with a few different windows. We've got the shutters actually acting as shutters, just to break up with all the others that are pretty much, you know, in an open position as a sort of standard thing. Now, I do have these little windows up here as like detail for the roof on the outside, but I'm thinking I might just close it over and not really have any function on the inside because there's no floor there. I mean, I could try and maybe put like a little landing thing there, so we could just maybe have a ladder going up. But we found out over on a live stream that on Bedrock we can't actually put ladders up against open trapdoors, so that kind of kills the design that I would have for this sort of tiered level thing. But yeah, so I'm not too sure what to do here, but I think it's probably just going to be closed over. But still, a lovely amount of space still around. Alright, let's go to the next one if I can get down the stairs. And then now we have finally our last 2 little cottages, which is just this tiny small one which took no time to do at all, as well as this one here. Now, we've gone through with the dark oak buttons and the words just slipped my mind, the oak trap doors as the shutters, as well as having the glass pane windows, and it still looks a little bit plain, okay? So I'm thinking when we come back through, add a bit more colour, and it might start to break things up a little bit. I did go around for our tower and add in the birch fences as well as the sandstone walls to help round off this wall a little bit, and honestly, it does. It really nicely just sort of helps give it that little bit more of a thickness, so if you were just looking along, it sort of helps round it off a little bit. And yeah, all these little details, I'm really happy with how it's turning out. Whew. Alright guys, so that was a bit of an explanation of how things are going, and as you can see, we are on a pretty good track. However though, I think work's going to strike again before I can get this next episode out, but I'm still working hard, so I guess that means I might try and go up and collect up some mud and get a path in and try and make sure that panda doesn't escape. So yeah guys, I'll bring you back in hopefully with some path work done, maybe some bushes and a bit more decorative work. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying how it's coming along. This is the first project that Bluey hasn't really complained about. I think it's because it's nice and green over here compared to the savannah. But yeah, we'll be back in a moment. Please don't hit the pan with a sword. Alright guys, we are starting to get onto the finish line of this project. We have now put in the pathways leading around this little small village area inside of our starter island. I have also, yes Bluey, I'm about to say that, I've also now incorporated a few lanterns because we came across the problem where, well, as you guys know, there is the big water cave underneath where we're going to make Dragon's Lair. So I couldn't really do my normal hidden lighting. So I needed to design something a little bit different. And if we spin around and actually go and have a little bit of a look here, I think these little street lights sort of work nicely. We just got the sandstones, or chiseled sandstone, sorry, with the walls and some oak fences to be able to make our little stems, as well as having lanterns there. Putting on some of the dark oak trap doors, as well as making use and tying in the copper fill with the copper rods. And just as a little bit of a decorative thing on the end, we've gone with the black candles, just to sort of give it a bit more of a, I don't know, like maybe this is where the power is being received or something like that, you know, just to sort of add a little bit to the sort of feel of these light posts, yeah. But if we continue on up here, we've got a few more on the side. You can see that we have reached our gate, big quote and brackets on gate. But what it is, as you can see, we've got the, what are they, sandstone walls, which if we pop these up, you can't actually get over them or jump around them. Now, the trapdoors are something that I can jump up and get over, but the villagers hopefully can't. That is sort of the planning here, and I think it kind of works nicely on this little diagonal. I'm not going to lie, I did struggle a little bit with the design concept, and this might change in the future, but for now, this is kind of the version that I'm going to leave it with. As you can see, as we come around, we've got more street lights. I've even put in a little bit of a farm here, just in case we have any accidents, these villagers can, you know, repopulate themselves. You know, I'm planning for the worst to make sure it doesn't happen, but if it happens, we're prepared. Now, if we look inside some of these houses, you can see that I've gone around, put in the roof, added in just the basic decorations. I've got to go put in some lanterns inside. I just haven't had a chance to do some of the final details or any beds. And this is a theme that we can see all over the place. Like, there's no beds put in here as of yet, because I would like to actually put in our villagers up here and then, you know, place in all the beds and everything like that. So that way, you know, we can grow this village all together. Now, you may have just seen as a cut-in, we were able to keep our panda friend, and he is just, yeah, chilling around. He's going to protect our villagers, so I think that's going to be a nice little touch in here, you know. These villagers usually have cats or iron golems, but no, these guys, they've got a panda to come to their rescue, don't they? He really does need a name, so anyone got a name suggestion, please leave that down in the comments. That's going to really help out there. But, you know, it is starting to get dark, so I think what I need to do is have a quick nap, and then in the morning, yeah, we're going to have to move these villagers over from there into here. And, yeah, let's quickly sleep away the night and then get into that. Alright, so it is now a fresh morning on a brand new day, and it's time for us to move our villagers. Now, in that last clip, I was trying to make sure I wasn't out too late because I wanted to be able to have, you know, the fresh sleep counter so no phantoms would try and irritate me. But what we want to do is, well, as I said, we're almost finished here. I've got to put beds in, I've got to go around with some lanterns, some pot plants, do a bit more of the flowering because, I ran out of bone meal and couldn't quite get it in there, but we've got to do all that sort of stuff in there. But what I wanted to have happen was, I want to make sure these villagers are actually going to survive being inside of this village, you know, that we've set up. Make sure there's no way for them to get out. There's no way for anything to get in. So I thought that while I was working around it here to do the final touches, it might be a smart idea to actually get these guys over there and just suss out and see what they're doing. So we're now going to take these boats and leads, and then we're going to try and move our villagers from that box up into the village. Now, as you can see, I do have a few workstations which will leave us with some villagers that's going to trade for iron, because that is something that now, I know, can you believe it? We are now pretty iron rich, so we'll be able to trade this off very easily to get some emeralds, plus all of these guys are going to give us backup tools, armor, and weapons. So I think it's a really good trade-off. So, first things first, we do have them sectored into sort of 2 pens. I think we just try and get these 2 in a boat. No, Pig, I can see you're going to become a problem. Look, I'll give you... No, Pig... Yeah, look, you almost jumped in. I don't want that. Okay, look, jump out. You go in there. You go in there. Yes, okay. Now we can just lead these guys, break down this wall, and it should be as easy as just moving them along. No, Pig, you can't come out the same time as them. Okay, look, you want to go first? Fine. Let's first off show the villagers how they're going to get across and just, you know, demonstrate with their beloved pet pig. Come on. Up you go.
There we are. You see? I'll jump over you. Shoot. No, you can't. Okay. Make a line of me, Pig. Like that and that. Alright, now let's get the pig. We'll just leave him over there. Alright.
You can stay here and greet the villagers as they come. Let's get some dirt on our hotbar just in case we need to sort of bounce ourselves up to get over here.
Let's break these out of the way. Alright, let's try this again. No, not the butt. Yes, there we go. Alright, guys, come with me. Come on. Alright, don't fall down the thing. You should be sweet. Yes. Come on. Alright, good, good. Jump, jump, jump. We're almost at the top, guys. You're doing great. Look at that! Oh, you see that? It's the pig, they flew and everything. It was all great. Now let's take off this lead.
And let's hope it can be as easy as that for the other ones. Is that Bluey or is that another bird? Bluey, you were sitting down here. Okay, I don't know who that one is. Can I lead it? No. Oh, okay. Other bird, you stay there. Let's try and get these guys.
Is there lightning storm? No. There's lightning storm. I'll be able to sleep. Lightning storm, thunderstorm, whatever. Both of you guys need to be in the boat for us to go. Thank you. Now we just break our way out here. And unfortunately, guys, you'll be leaving on a drizzly Tuesday. But, don't worry. It's gonna be fine. It's Sunday for anyone. It's actually Saturday. Wow, it's Saturday. Ah, bad days. Come on, guys. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I get it. The ground's a little more slippery. It's okay. Oh, that was my fault. Okay, get back. Great. Good, follow me. All good. Okay, you're in here. Yes, Mr. Pig, you can greet him. We're all in safe. Take up the lead. Now let's return this. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Let's put their beds down first. So you have these 3. You guys can be the first one, so I can just put your beds here. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, there you go. Your beds are here. Your workstations aren't. Let me break them so you're not trying to track back this way. Anything to sort of really give us the benefit of the doubt that they're not going to try and pathfind over that wall. So, one of you guys, librarians, I think your thing should be just in here. Maybe 2 of you. I want to get movement around here, so I don't want you all to want to be going to the same spot. So let's chuck another one here. So that's 3. We've got already 2 composters out and about. Can't put anything along that back wall because that will trigger them being able to jump. Oh, I'll just tie it in there like that. And maybe to break this up, I'll just bring it closer in here. That kind of gives it a nice bit of a break up. Now, moment of truth. Don't hit the villagers, don't hit the villagers. Alright guys, we've managed to move them over here. Now, what I'm wanting to do is go and collect up and make a few more beds. Try and, you know, encourage them to breed up, as well as, actually, while we're here, let's go ahead and place in some more of these workstations, because these are the ones that we're wanting to get going. So, I'll put one of these in this room here so you can all see it. You know, your firstborn might be interested by it. Chuck one of these over here in this corner. One of these could actually probably stand out at the center. And like even around here. I'm going to chuck that over there. And let's get this last blast furnace. Let's put it in the house at the back. I can just chuck it here. I'm thinking of having 3 beds along there. Now we've got, what are they? A grindstone. There's no way that they're going to be able to... Yeah, no, we're fine with that. That'll be fine. Give the panda all the rest of his food. And then you pick it up. I actually think we can try it. Ooh, I didn't know that was going to work. Nice. And then I might go one up here because it's looking a little plain. And if villagers can climb up here, I would really encourage it. Alright guys, so I am crouching for dear life here, hoping that I do not fall off just to get this shot. But what I'm going to do now is go around and put on those final details. So get in a few more flowers like we can kind of see starting to happen over here. Bone meal the grass a little bit so we can actually have grass. Put in some lanterns inside the house, it's not just the torches, as well as maybe putting in some pot plants just to tie in a little bit of colour. Now while I'm doing that, I am going to have head of security, cameraman, overwatch so that he can watch these guys and just sort of make sure that nothing is entering the village that shouldn't, and these guys aren't getting out or anywhere they really shouldn't. That's not Bluey. Bluey is over here, I think. Don't fall. Where is he? Bluey. Yeah, see, Bluey is there. This is just a random parrot. These guys are going to try and now get into there. Let the bird in the house if it wants to go in. Okay guys, I'm going to leave it on that. By looking at them, it should be time for bed. So, I'm going to go and have a quick nap, and then I'll bring my cameraman over here so you guys can, you know, just watch over these villages and make sure that everything is going to plan. Alright guys, so after that little bit of a surveillance overwatch of our villagers, we were able to get a little bit more decoration done around here, as well as implementing quite a few more beds, which has, helped us increase our population quite nicely. And I think we're going to be able to get our, well, as one walks into frame, our toolsmiths, our weaponsmiths, and our armourers pretty soon without too much of a delay. Now, gotta admit, I'm really happy with how this comes up, but I'm always happy with the work that we get done because, you know, I take a lot of time and pride in it. And with that said, I am really sorry that this episode has taken a little bit of time to actually get out and, you know, released. So yes, I'm sorry about that, but, you know, at the end of the day, what can you do? I am just really, you know, glad that we were able to actually finish this up and get a really nice area for our villagers to sort of live up here, and, you know, just a nice sort of free roaming setup, and we could just trade with them, and it just adds a little bit more character to our starter island, which I'm really happy with. Now, both the panda and the villagers' pigs need some names, as well as, you know, villagers just in general, but that pig looks like he might be pushing a panda out, so no, come on, so back here. Ooh. Back over on this side of the fence. Jeez. Yeah, so hopefully the pig and the panda don't go to war with one another. And you guys might want to leave a comment for them and that sort of thing. So always happy for that. But guys, thank you all very, very much for tuning in. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. And a big thanks to anyone who is still here watching. And yeah, guys, I just hope you guys really have enjoyed it. Sorry, as I said, it's been, you know, a bit of a delayed one. But hey, I think it's worth it. This little area, though it may be small and just sort of tucked away off to the side, I think we've really done a nice job on it. Like, our houses now with some beds in it really do clean up nicely, and it's just becoming a really nice little spot in our area just to hang out and just sort of chill out with these villagers. So yeah guys, I hope you all have enjoyed, and until next time,